YouTube, what's poppin'? It's your boy Sidhu the Barber. Welcome back to another video. This week we're bringing you guys a haircut tutorial, a high skin fade with the eyebrows, a beard fade, and a beard lineup. The whole works for my boy. This is actually our third time shooting this video this week. Cams did a dope job earlier with the visuals. We had two angles going, one with the GoPro, one with the steady camera, but I corrupted those files. But follow Cam still, he does dope work.
Oh, what the frigo?
Nonetheless, let's hop into this tutorial. So first thing you want to do is drape up your client with the neck strip and then the cape. After that, I like to come through and just comb out the hair in whatever direction it goes. I won't be showing the shear work this video because this is mostly a fade video. Alright, cool. So the first step when you're fading is debulking. He hasn't come in for a haircut in a month and a half, so I'm going with the 2-guard fully open so I can see my guidelines. Right after that, I'm gonna follow it through with the 3 open. Here I'm just trying to flick into the bulk at the parietal ridge and just connect it as best as I can without clipper or comb, which we'll do later on. Right after that, I'm coming through with my trimmers and I'm setting in my ball guideline. This is a high skin fade, so no C-cup. And be sure you make this contour to your client's head. Not every person's head is the same. This here is my personal favorite step. We're gonna come through, flip the trimmer over and bald them out. Be sure the higher you get to the line, you flick out more because we don't wanna, create a harsh guideline. Now to get into the fade for real, we're gonna take our fading clipper. I got the Wahl Seniors, open it up and make a guideline across the whole head, parallel to the one that you just did with the ball guideline. And make sure it's neat because the neater your guidelines, the neater your fade will come out. Now before we begin fading that line out, we're going to come through with the same trimmer we set the ball guideline in with, and we're just going to flick it out right at the beginning to make it less harsh and easier for our clippers to come through and fade it out. Cool, so to fade out this first guideline, I like to keep my lever closed, open it up 1/4 inch every time we go up 1/4 inch. The idea here is by the time we're at the top of the guideline, our lever should be fully open and the line should be fully faded out. So whenever you're satisfied with that guideline being faded out, I like to come through with my balder and bald out everything underneath. You do want to make sure you go under the very first initial guideline that we did make with our trimmer. I like to do it now as opposed to the beginning because I have a better idea in my head and a visual as to what a final look is going to look like. In the beginning, I used to struggle a lot because I used to take the balder up way too high and that used to mess up the flow of my whole fade. Don't mind me here. I think I just saw a little bit of an inconsistency in the fade and I just wanted to fix it before we moved on. You don't have to do this now because in the end we will detail the cut after we're fully done running through our steps. Cool, so the next guideline, you want to take the one guard fully open and make the same guideline that you did with the last one. Cool, so now to fade this guideline out, you want to take your half guard, 0 guard, 0.5 guard, whatever, 3/4 of the way open and fade down. So same concept when we were fading up, but now we're reversing it to come down. The lower you get, the more you want to close it, and when you get to the bottom of the line, it should be faded out. This won't always work because sometimes people have, different like densities or like different hair thicknesses in certain areas. So if you can't get it out with the 0 guard, don't be scared to take off the guard, open up the lever all the way, and use the corners to get it out. But for the most part, this does work. So whenever you're satisfied with that guideline being faded out, you want to come through with your 1.5 guard fully open and close it as you come down. If you do remember earlier, we did go here with a 2, I think, in this area, 2 or 3, and this 1.5 won't fully fade out the guideline, but it'll soften up for our next guard to come through with that kill shot. And now this one guard here, you want to come with it 3/4 of the way open and fade down. Same thing that you did with the 0 guard, and that should for the most part fade it out. Again, if there's some inconsistencies or some dark spots, feel free to go 1 guard down. So with the half guard fully open, use the corners to get it out. But be sure you take your time with this step and don't rush it. notice here, all the guidelines are done, but now we're faced with a new challenge. We want to make that transition from the fade to the top a bit more smooth. So clipper over comb here, you want to go keep it as square shape and don't dig in too much. I'll make a full tutorial on this, but for the most part it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to dig in to the top. You want to keep a square shape, and you want to, when you do take it in, always remember 45-degree angle, or 90, sorry, 90, my bad. Oh, I'm tripping. So if you notice, it did make another little bit of a guideline, which is not anything, you know, too crazy. You come through with your 1.5 guard, 2 guard, 3 guard, you know, gauge the situation, and you can pretty much fade it out. Right, now we're on to the lineup here. I'm gonna speed this part up because, you know, it's nothing crazy. You want to start at the middle, work your way to the right, the left, and be sure you don't push your client back, man. Like, these are just his bangs, not an actual hairline, and you wanted them here. But be sure if you're lining up an actual hairline, do not push it back. That's like the worst thing you can do. That's a big no-no in barbering, and you don't want to be remembered as the barber, or known as the barber that pushes people back. Alright, so here I'm just like eyebrows, we're gonna put a notch in, we're gonna fade in his beard, line it up. I'm gonna just fast forward this part, I'm gonna shut up, let you guys watch it, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. We have to wake him up from his nap here, and at the end of the cut, you always want to make sure you take everything off, the neck strip, the cape, and just get all the parts that you might have missed due to the, you know, the cape blocking it or whatever. Alright, so if you guys don't remember, this is how he came in looking, kind of shaggy looking, but we fixed him up and we got him looking right. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share with a buddy. If you gained some value, do let me know. See you guys next week. Peace.
This shit's insane.